Are live. Bear with me a moment, as I was just doing a live stream a short distance ago, and it was not broadcasting. So let me see what's going on, if this is broadcasting this time around, or if it's giving me trouble. So let's find out. Okay, we are live this time. Fantastic. 22 minutes in, and it actually wasn't doing the broadcast, so now I got it checked. So, good. Okay. We are live. I am Savage Squishy86, and this is our continuing live stream playthrough of Resident Evil 2, the remake. Last time we left off, we were playing as Leon first, then Claire, as opposed to the previous stream that I did 5 years ago with Claire first, then Leon. I guess it must have slipped my mind to do that, but we're basically going to be going through this as we did before. With the OG version being completed, we're going to resonate and take in the enthusiasms of an exciting new experience with the remake of Resident Evil 2. Now, when we last left off, Leon had pretty much made his way through the police station's parking garage, having met Ada, witnessed Ben's untimely and very sudden death at the hands of the tyrant, and of course made his way back to the police station after gaining access to another wing of the police station. Having to get the parking pass key card that is essentially on Ben's person, he is essentially locked in a cell. To get the cell open, we need to replace some of the power panel parts. So we're on a new quest line of basically finding those power panel parts. Now, when we last left off with Leon, he had made his way out of the police station on the rooftop to the kind of boiler room / area on the far eastern side of the police station's main grounds. We have since acquired the club key, and we also have hands on the major big gear set that essentially is going to be pivotal to gaining access to the police station's clock tower puzzle. So, but without further ado, let's get right into that with what our next agenda is. So, terribly sorry about that. For whatever reason, it wasn't broadcasting, but I started a new broadcast, and it seems like it's doing smooth now. So, obviously, this is where we were, but we're going to pretty much load our game right from where we started. Go right from there. So, let's get into the action. So right away, as soon as you pretty much get the key, it is pretty evident that you will have a new threat. Obviously, when we get out of this room, we're essentially going to be dealing with the tyrant. That is going to be the antithesis of our threat that we will be dealing with. But in that respect, that is essentially all that that's going to be. Just making adjustments to my organization here, because key items you want to keep in the first bar so you can use them like lickety-split really fast. We're going to go ahead and put those down there, though, and those right there, yada, 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 and that is going to be it. So immediately head out here. The zombies that you have dispatched earlier, or if you had dispatched them, will essentially still be here, dead. If you did not, be mindful coming out, because they could be anywhere in their vicinity. They could be to your left, behind the door, or at the far end of that path over here. But over here, you're going to have the water line that essentially is going to lead to the reservoir up on top of this boiler room. Now, the piping is essentially going to be right and left pipes. Right now, you have the gear set to the right pipe, but the right pipe is going to be actually fractured. So we need to send this water line through the left pipeline. So switch the valve over to the left and then head up back to the roof of the police station. Over here, obviously, the burning helicopter is something we need to get out of our way. So we're going to head over here, and since we switched the pipeline from the right to the left, up to down, left being down, up being right, pretty much going right over there, pretty much following the line, you can see that the right pipe is essentially fractured here. So that will not do us any good. What we do need is the left pipe, so essentially that is going to be right over there. Go ahead and pull the lever. We have switched the line already, so that'll pour the water out and extinguish the fire. Once we have done that, we're going to head on through here, grab the red herb on the floor, and we're going to have a new threat coming to surprise us around the corner in the form of the tyrant. Now, we could put him down, but I essentially really want to keep him... Oh, excuse me. I essentially don't want to really waste the ammo if I can help it, so we're going to basically lead him lead him around and basically make him chase us. So once we break contact with him, he will be pursuing us. After you get a certain distance away, though, he will lose visual confirmation of you and essentially give up the pursuit. That's usually when you hear the music stop. So, but once we've done that, we're going to head down the stairs here, taking the second floor, essentially down this path this is pretty much what your route's going to be, from the rooftop through this corridor, all the way down. We lifted the fire escape here, but we're going to take the stairwell down and then further along to use the club key on the observation room. And that is our goal. Ignore the zombie in the windows. Welcome to the stream, viewer. Good evening. Hope you're having a great weekend. Once we get here, use the club key to immediately open the door. On the officer, we're going to get the gunpowder. And then over here, we're going to have a second floor waiting room safe combination. Now, I didn't remember this earlier, but thankfully we found the code to access it now. So it's going to be 6 left, 2 right, and 11 left. This will give us a weapon part for our gun, the Matilda. Once we get that, grab the chest here. That is essentially another important key item for the red jewel that we acquired. And then over here, grab the handgun ammo. And that will pretty much be everything you will get between the interrogation room and the observation room. Even though you can't access the interrogation room through traditional means of the heart key, you basically get yourself the lucky break of getting babbled into the interrogation room and the observation room. Claire, it's a bit different, as Claire has to use the heart key to get in here, and then she can hop the window and get in there. Leon, it's the reverse. Through here, and then hop into there. Once we get through this point, we're going to have another encounter with him, where we're going to just throw a flash grenade and get him out of our way. He'll get a little hit on us. That's okay. He's just going to swing his arm wildly like a dumbass. But essentially, that's what we want to do, is just get him out of our way. We don't want to waste the bullets if we don't have to. Plus, I kind of like his hat. If you shoot him in the head, his hat will fly off. Nice little touch of swag they gave Mr. X. So once he is shooken off the events of the flash grenade, we're basically going to make our way up. Oh, come on. What a dick. Take a hit, buddy. I know you're sweet on me, but I am not interested. I really want to get this weapon part. That's probably the only reason I'm actually leading him all the way around here. So I'm going to have to really work fast. Alright, so it's going to be 2 left. 6 right. 11 left. Oh, fuck. Try again. 2 left. 6 right. 11 left. Nope. It's going to be 2 right. 2 left. No, wait a minute. Fucking shit. Alright, let me take a look at my file real quick. 6. Okay, I had it backwards at 6 left, 2 right, 11 left. Okay. 6 left, 2 right, 11 left. And that will give us the muzzle brake for the Matilda. Now, obviously, we have very limited number of seconds to get out of here, so let's go ahead and do that. Take the fire escape and break contact as best you can. cut through the the east office, and get back to the main hall. The more doors you can put between you, the better, because it'll make your job easier to break the line of sight, making it harder for him to track you and pursue. But he will eventually reacquire you momentarily. Once we get into this room, we have a new liquor in our way. Head into here and use the club key for the final time, hopefully, and gain entry. Inside here, we will find gunpowder. Go ahead and discard the club key, as we no longer need that. But head over here, and you will get a grenade, as well as the handle jack, which is going to be for the library. Now, we're not going to use that gunpowder yet as much as I would like to, because I have an opportunity to get an even bigger batch of ammo from that if I use it appropriately. So we're going to hold on to that. Now, obviously, he will hear the gunfire and he will immediately storm the room. Here he comes. And the second he does, we're going to jump this window here. Now, obviously, we have given the slip for the time being, but only for the time being. We're going to basically store a few of these things. We're going to get rid of the gunpowder. We're going to get rid of the red gem, the red herb, and get the blue and green herb out of here, mix them, and then we have our healing item that we need. And we're going to keep our grenade. And yeah, get the red jewel out and go ahead and get ready to use that as well. Combining that, we'll open up the chest in question, and inside we will find the STARS badge. Now, closely examining the STARS badge, you'll find that it is actually a USB dongle, which we will need to the STARS office to get ourselves the Lightning Hawk, the Magnum, for this asshole. This is definitely going to be a boon for you in the long term, so you definitely want that. Now, he's obviously going to go back the way he came, thinking he probably missed us. So we're going to use this opportunity to quietly, don't run, quietly move. This will basically make it harder. But if he hears you running, I think he finds you easier too. So I'm not entirely sure. I could be wrong, but I always walk because he seems to have less luck of finding me if he doesn't hear me running around. So once we get into here, head over to the computer's tower and use the USB dongle and then access the computer. This will enable you to unlock the armory door and get the Lightning Hawk inside, which is going to be a saving grace, and it's actually quite a signature staple for Leon as well. So. Over here, the file essentially is lit STARS members, basically entailing the details that Claire is looking for Chris, but Chris is no longer in Raccoon City. He's been gone since August 29th. So over a month he's been gone from Raccoon City. Now, once we get out here, we're going to head over into the library area. Oh, damn. Okay. Actually, you want to go back and get the stars dongle. I forgot about that. Slipped my mind to grab that. That's an important piece that you're going to need later on. It's actually relevant to getting access to a weapon upgrade for the Lightning Hawk. We can't gain access to it now because the path that we had opened up with the help of those the maiden statue in the stars hallway, the police station main hall, the door is sealed, so we need to gain access to that another way, further in the game through the sewer system. But take a quick overview of the entire station, and essentially we have searched it in every sense of the word, with the exception of the jail, which is where we need to get the uh, parking key card. But our next stop is going to be the third floor and the clock tower. To do that, we need to use the jack here to basically get the um, library book shelves moved. So that is going to be our next destination. So once you go ahead and use the mechanical jack here, we're gonna basically able to drop this thing. Now the noise is gonna get Tyrant's attention. He's gonna come knocking, so you want to get this things moved and you want to get them moved fast. So get over to the furthest one and push them all over together in unison. Hopefully by then you will have them moved and the Tyrant won't show up until you're actually moving, but I want to wait and see if he does come. There he is. Now you probably got a couple minutes before the Tyrant knows that you're up here. He will essentially come around looking for the gunfire. That's essentially what he will be doing. He obviously heard the gunfire, but he's not going to get up here in time to catch us. So, locate, repair and plan, police station, West Side Clock Tower. Due to the highest cultural value of the bell, I'm calling a specialist to make repairs. We'll go over the details once they're on site, on the scene. But in the meantime, I'll take steps to secure the bell since the yoke is threatening to break. So up there is our power panel parts, which we need. We'll go ahead and get to work on solving this puzzle in a minute. But first we want to go back here in the far back of this room and head through this door. This is essentially going to be the other half of the corridor that was blocked on the third floor as we went through the west storage room where we found the maiden statue puzzle. There's actually an item at the back, which is why I was saving those gunpowders in the form of a large container of gunpowder. Now, you can mix this with regular small gunpowder or a regular small gunpowder B. This will give you a huge volume of handgun bullets or a huge volume of shotgun shells. You cannot get magnum bullets with this. So you really kind of only get those two options. But if you're really hurting for ammo, these things are a boon to making a lot of ammo. So we're going to grab that and have that handy for the time being. We can obviously know that the tyrant is out there. Over here, we're going to use this gear to lower the stairs, steps to it, the step ladder here that essentially takes us up to the lower level, to the upper level. Go ahead and put this gear in. Then take the gear back because we're going to need that for the upper one. You're going to do a little bit of back and forth with this because unlike the traditional OG version of the game, we are going to have a little bit more of complexity to this puzzle. It's not really terribly complex, but it is complex enough to where it's going to make you think. So heading upstairs, the power panel parts are there. We need to ring the bell to knock the shit off. But head over here and grab the small gear. Then investigate it, put the big gear in its place. That will start turning the gears with the upper compartment of the clock tower. Then we're going to head back down the steps to essentially gain access to the next area in question, which is going to be the small gear, where the small gear comes into place. You can hear that big bastard stomping around out there looking for me. Go ahead and put the small gear in, and then the clock tower will essentially be solved, and the puzzle will pretty much, start fixing itself.
Hope I don't have to write a report on this.
So once you solve the puzzle, head over here. Grab the panel parts that are dropped down here on the floor. So now that we have that, we absolutely have the power panel part already set up down there, and then we're going to go grab the other one, and that will basically be it. Now, the tyrant obviously saw us, so he's coming up this way. But we're going to head around the far reaches of this upper area here. There's that son of a bitch right there. But before he gets here, we're going to be long gone. So unlock the door, essentially to the third floor's eastern storage room, and then head through that door. Head out this door. Head out on the rooftop. Now remember, this ladder is broken. We can't go up, but we can sure as shit drop down. So we just saved ourselves a lot of leg running work right there on the spot. So now we're gonna head back through this door, through this corridor. We're trying to make up for time because we don't want to let this asshole catch us napping. Head through the fire escape. Head through the eastern office's hallway, go through the watchman's room, and then make your way down the stairs back to the parking garage. Buddy, I'm sorry, but I can't afford to stay and play with you. Zombies will breach the windows here as you run by. Don't worry about it. You're not coming back here again, so just haul ass. Just get out of here. Heading through the underground police station's kennel area is essentially our next destination. Now we're heading through the parking garage. Now we're gonna head into the jail. Now this is where it's gonna get kind of a little bit amusing and interesting at the same time. Because once we solve this puzzle, the zombies will escape their cells. Apparently, unlocking this power panel essentially doesn't just unlock this cell, it unlocks all the cells. So go ahead and use the power panel, and then you will have to basically solve this puzzle where basically you need to connect the circuit to the power source. So essentially, this is basically what this is going to pretty much entail. Hmm. And that will basically it. A little bit of wiggle waggle kind of thing there, but basically that's basically what you want to do is just basically string it to where it's going to measure to the circumstances of it. So here we have the Ben memo. The station's swarming with monsters, but even I can hear their cries. But it's the zombies I'm afraid of. Codenamed Tyrant, the ultimate bioweapon developed by those bastards in utmost secrecy. Chances are they ordered it to wipe out the witnesses. Go ahead and grab the first aid spray, though, tucked away behind this really shitty looking toilet. And then go over to Ben's body and get the parking permit. Huh?
That doesn't explain the rumors about the orphanage. I just find it way too coincidental Umbrella is one of the benefactors.
You told me this interview was about the new scholarship Umbrella set up.
Come on, nobody cares about that. They want to know about the G virus
Where did you hear about this?
and that big fucking sinkhole in the city, which, by the way, rumor has it goes straight to your underground lab. Now, are you going to talk to me, or are you going to...
This interview's over.
Bitch.
So pretty much we were getting the story of what Ben was investigating in that regard. Not really too indifferent from what we already know from our OG playthrough. But with the parking pass, we essentially now have access to this, getting out of this predicament with the police station.
What are they after?
Now, upon entering this area, the jail cells will all open. The zombies will immediately pour out. Now, we could very well breach through them, but we're going to need to deal with Tyrant, because he's going to come down there, or he's going to come down here. It doesn't really matter either or.
Give me a break.
He's not wearing his hat anymore. I guess we must have dropped it. Or we shot it off and it calculates it. It's really weird because I honestly thought for a second it would actually be in our benefit to do that. Go ahead and throw the grenade and get them out of your way. And then we're going to make our way out of the cell and out of the block. Running forward, the Tyrant will smash through the wall. Concrete wall, no less. And try to kill us. Which will be saved by Ada.
This is getting old. Saving your ass, that's twice.
I didn't realize you were keeping score.
Look, this isn't a game. Nothing dies down here. I take it you have the key card.
Yeah, no thanks to you, sister.
And this. I was hoping you could explain what's on it.
Maybe. After I hear it. Let's get out of here. We might want to open the shutter.
You could say please, girl. Just saying. Go and use the parking permit and release the shutter. Where the hell did she drive the truck from? Over here, grab the green herb.
Is that the intel you needed?
Unfortunately, no. Ben didn't come through.
Well, what exactly are you looking for?
More info on the people responsible for this mess. What about you? Trying to save the world?
I told Lieutenant Brenna I'd bring help.
Good luck getting that.
Now, if you recall correctly, one of these buildings essentially is where Jill fought the Nemesis T-Type and burned it to a crisp. I'm not sure if it was this rooftop or if it was that rooftop in the far distance, because we pretty much, I think it was that rooftop because we essentially fought and we made our way to Robert Kendo's gun shop essentially here. So I'm pretty sure that's where we pretty much did it. It was right over there on that rooftop. That was all ablaze. Now it's like stone cold dark. So, but follow Ada
Road
and
going through that gun shop looks like the only way. What a mess.
heading inside here is essentially kind of a bittersweet experience because we're going to run into Robert Kendo. But over here on the shelf, you'll find a long barrel for your shotgun. So we're going to go ahead and combine that. And that will give us a... oh, damn. I should have waited. I would have gotten more out of that if I waited. Can I reload it? I won't worry about it. 4 hours is 4 hours. 4 shells is 4 shells, but still, I should have waited. I forgot that I could have gotten more out of it if I had a fully loaded weapon. So we got that. We got the grenade over here on the shelf as well, so that's good too. We're not going to need the stars badge much further, but we're going to need to drop something off eventually. Hopefully we get a box here soon. Kendo, seems like you've got your reasons for staying put, so I'll trust you to take care of yourself. Still, if things get worse, and your other arrangements don't work out, you know where to find me. I'll do everything I can. Jill Valentine. This is essentially the events of Resident Evil 3. Jill was pretty much came through here, left us know. But basically, that is essentially the thing. And that's the cool thing I like about it, is that both these games take place very, very close. Not at the same time, but lower marginally at the same time. She's pretty much doing her own thing right now. Over here, I have some handgun ammo. And that is going to basically be everything we find from the gun shop. Heading further over here, we'll have Kendo surprise us.
I'm not gonna hurt you.
I said don't move.
I'm just passing through.
It's a cop guy. Relax.
Like hell you are. You're gonna turn around and go right back out the way you came in.
I think your daughter needs help, sir.
Tell me how to deal with my daughter.
Drop it.
No! Wait!
Step aside. We need to terminate her before she turns.
Terminate. It's my fucking daughter.
Ada. Just let them be.
Emma? Sweetheart, I told you to stay put.
Daddy.
Daddy's here. Okay? Those fucking things outside. What they did to us. You're a cop. You're supposed to know something. How did this happen? Huh? She was our sweet little angel.
Mommy.
I was sleeping, honey. Okay? And I'm gonna put you to bed too, okay? Emma. Just go. Just give us some privacy.
You know, it's one thing to keep the truth from me, but why him?
Bang. Killed himself and his kid.
I want to find out what's happening here.
That's sad.
Stop whoever's behind it. Helping people like them? That's why I joined the Force.
My mission is to take down Umbrella's entire operation. We may not make it out.
Whatever it takes to save this city. Count me in.
I know some people like Ada, but I really am not particularly crazy for her. I mean, she has to know what these things do, and essentially it's like you going out of your way to catch these damn viruses, and it's like, are you not keeping up on current events, sweetheart? Do you not see what these fucking shits do? You really want to see this go in the hands of somebody else? I don't. No, not me. Sorry. So once we get through that scene,
Heard of the Umbrella Corporation?
we're gonna head through the gate with her.
They're a pharmaceutical company secretly making bioweapons. They have a virus. It turns people into indestructible monsters.
That explains the horrible things I've seen.
High heels.
And that's why I'm looking for Annette Birkin. She's the one at Umbrella responsible for unleashing the virus. I'm going to bring her down. This is how we get to Annette.
Based on what you've said, the sewer seems fitting.
Well said. After you.
Gee, thanks.
So basically, just follow the path like usual. There's nothing really there's nothing extravagant or significant that's going to be
Can't imagine a real
tell-all.
scientist being down here.
According to HQ, this leads right into Umbrella's secret facility.
Come on. Sewers are run by the city. How could they have a facility without the authorities knowing?
Welcome to corporate America. Umbrella's controlled Raccoon City for years.
Never trust corporate America. They're bad news, man. Deadass. Once you get down here, you're going to keep your eyes open because, as you can see, there's an indicator that there's something down here with us.
That an earthquake?
I sure as hell hope so.
I believe it'll be right here. Handgun ammo. Very nice. Now continue down and around, and in the distance you'll see a white light.
What the hell?
Stay sharp. God only knows what's down here.
So once we have that little frightening scene unfolding before us, in here we will find a storage box and a save point. So go ahead and drop off a few of your relevant items, most notably the first aid spray, the STARS badge, and then go ahead and grab one of those gunpowders. We're going to make some ammo. And with it, we got a whopping 25 bullets. Go ahead and grab the Magnum ammo out of there as well. And we're going to reload our Magnum. And put the remaining Magnum ammo away. And go ahead and combine your 2 green herbs and put away the other ones. All in all, pretty decent ammo supply. We got more health. We got more health than God. So we're good for a lot of needs as it stands right now. So once we get here, we're gonna head out through this door here. Keep up, girl. Over here on top of the drum, grab the other handgun ammo. And then down the steps and to the left.
Again?
It's not too late to turn back, Leon.
No chance. You're stuck with me to the end.
Now, once we get to this point, we're going to head around this stable catwalk here and then basically drop down. We are going to have a chase sequence with an encounter with the giant alligator. This is not necessarily a boss battle, but more of a quick time or event,
Sure
if you
this
will,
is the right way?
without the quick time action.
Unfortunately.
Wait there.
Leon! Get out of there!
So once we have that sequence of events playing out, the alligator will begin chasing us. Now we're going to want to avoid his bite attacks left to right. So he's coming to the right. We're going to go to the left. He's going to go to the left now. Go to the right. Go to the left now, quickly. And just beeline it all the way. Once he bites the gas pipe, just like we usually do, bam! Pop goes the weasel. Grab the grenade on the left side.
Chew on that, you overgrown son of a bitch.
And that will basically, somehow Ada will find her way here, down here.
Leon, up here.
What the hell was...
Just get up here.
Big fucker too, look at him.
Can't say I didn't warn you.
You said the virus turned people into monsters, not reptiles.
Fair point. I'm just impressed you made it in one piece.
Lucky day for an officer. It's funny, on YouTube and Facebook, I hear a lot of videos basically saying, who would you prefer, Leon or Chris? And I'm not gonna lie, I think Leon would be a better option for me as a character.
Umbrella sells monsters like that to who? Our military? Somebody else's?
They don't sell the monsters. They sell the viruses that make them. And Annette is who makes the viruses. Scary as that alligator was, Annette is far more dangerous.
That gun is awesome. I love that gun. It is a beauty. Head into this room after you get off the elevator, and then head into the next room, and essentially there will be another save typewriter, and that is it. So, but before we do anything, we're going to go ahead and save our game, just for the sake of consideration. Auto save is pretty much a guarantee, but I like to get in the habit of using the regular save before anything else. Come on in, Ada. All right, fine. I'll go ahead.
Identify yourself.
Annette Birkin.
She's who we're looking for?
Not much time. Need to dispose of it.
We're here for the G-Virus.
That's not gonna happen.
I'm warning you, Doctor.
Oh, yeah?
Hey!
Stop! You'll never get the G-Virus!
Didn't expect that from a scientist. Leon.
Forget about me. Just go. Stop her before she gets away.
I'm right outside the facility, in pursuit of Annette. If it's not on her, it must be in the nest. Once it's in hand, I'll call for extraction. You can run, Annette, but you can't hide.
Very soft-spoken voice she's got, I will say. So obviously this is the way we came in. So now we're going to take control of Ada, that seeing as Leon has been taken out of commission. The battery, the power on this will not work, so you can't take that route. But that will essentially be Leon's route. Leon's blood here on the floor. And then basically we will leave. Leon will have his wounds dressed, but essentially will be covered by her coat and left here. Now to get access to this, we need to basically use her unique weapon, which is the EMF thing, whatever it's called. EMF visualizer.
It's secret weapon time.
Now this essentially is a hack system that will basically find the power sources in certain walls and get them working. So in this instance, we need to get that fan broken to get it working. So we're going to go ahead and turn it on. And now we're going to override it and speed it up so it breaks.
Candy from a baby.
At which point we're going to head through this tunnel area of this ventilation system and head on through. Ignore the roaches. They're not a threat in this game. They're just really gross to look at. Here we have another fan. We're going to need to get it working. So we're going to reroute power from this box. This will essentially turn this one on. We don't need to switch it yet, but we will switch it eventually. Go ahead and switch it. And that will enable the door ahead of us to be unlocked. A zombie will essentially get up. We're going to go ahead and drop him. You don't have to, but I like to do it just because he's going to follow us out there anyway. Heading over here, September inspection, week 1. I already put in a request last week, but we absolutely must have a replacement ID wristband ASAP. We need one to gain access to certain areas of the main facility. In other words, me and my crew can't get to places we need to in order to do our job right now. So I don't want to hear anyone accusing us of slacking off. There's a wristband that we need to find that essentially is going to be pivotal to gaining access to certain areas of the building. So heading out the door here. And then grab the handgun ammo off the drum to our front. Now down there is essentially where we want to go. We're going to have some zombies in our way, but we're going to drop them as much as we can and get through them as much as we can. This is pretty much the elevator where we need to gain access to. But we need to get around here to basically get the power going. Single headshot. Bang. Done. Kind of wish I had a flashlight. Ada. So once you drop that zombie, head around here. Basically use the EMF visualizer to essentially follow the trail leading you to where you gotta go. Damn it. You asshole. Alright, let's try that again, because that was a shit show. Yeah, definitely want to find that. Definitely want to try that again, because that was a shit show. So we're gonna try again. I should have been able to kill that fucker, but it's very fucking hard to see, so I'm gonna probably need to improve the display. Not really keen on doing this, but I can't really see what I'm doing very well, so my eyes aren't very good. So we'll skip this since we know what it is.
It's secret weapon time.
Let's give it another go.
Candy from a baby.
Have your handgun ready. Easy. Easy. Wristband. Obviously, we know that. Now head out here. Grab the handgun bullets, and then continue. Really, buddy? Shit. Definitely don't want to go down there. That's essentially where the other female zombie is. But here we have another zombie dropping in for the party. Over here is basically where we want to be. Grab the handgun ammo and the flash grenade. Try not to use the flash grenade. We're going to need that for the tyrant because he will make an appearance. There's our power source. We're going to need that. Switch that on. And that will gain the elevator access working. And we're gonna beeline it past that zombie. She obviously got up, despite our presence not triggering her. And we're gonna keep it moving. Head directly for the ladder. Elevator, not ladder, excuse me. Oh, the big boy's up and moving. There's that little blonde bitch.
Got you now. Always been good at running, Annette. Give you that.
Now, in order to gain access to this area, we're going to need to basically prepare ourselves, because we're going to have to deal with the Tyrant. The Tyrant will eventually find his way down here, and Ada will be forced to contend with him. However, we do not have the firepower to stop him, per se, so we're going to need to use good and measurable effort on our part with the flash grenade that we will have in our persons. So obviously that will be the elevator coming down, so we're going to need to get moving, because here he comes.
Persistent bastard, aren't you?
Switch the power over, and then immediately switch it. And then once we get in here, we're going to head into here, switch the power over. And then throw the grenade. This will buy us the precious amount of time we need to basically get this thing powered up and broken down. And then once we've done that, jump through, the Tyrant will not be able to follow. Now, head further along up here through this path. Here is essentially the door where Annette will have come through. But we will have to find a new way. So head up the stairwell to your right. And there on the thing will be Inspection Week 2, September. With the new wristband that's just arrived, we can finally begin our survey of the demolition area. As to the report from the other day about the incinerator, it's nothing really, probably just a large piece of leftover trash. I'll go take a look myself after I wrap up this report. We both know that that was not a piece of trash, and he essentially is dead. But the good thing is he has one of the new wristbands on his person inside that incinerator. So we're going to get in that incinerator. That's not going to go wrong. And grab that wristband. So once you've opened up the door to the incinerator, head down the stairs again and get in there and get that wristband. Once you do, Annette will shut the door. Yeah, I will say, for a basket case, she looks pretty good looking for a woman.
I'm gonna burn you alive now.
You'll never get your filthy hands on the G.
I'm not the only one after it. You realize that?
And you won't die alone.
Now, you got less than 60 seconds to get this goddamn door open, otherwise you're going to get cooked. So immediately, you're going to basically have to... As soon as I find my freaking power sources here. Head over here, relay power, and immediately break the unit boxes, essentially powering it. You can do this in less than 30 seconds, you'll get a trophy. Very difficult, in my opinion, but doable.
That bitch knows what she's doing.
And that essentially will complete that little party. But now that you have the wristband, now this door is accessible to you. So you can actually go right through it, and it'll automatically open.
Clearance confirmed. Your ID is authorized until October 1st. Please return before this date.
Not gonna happen.
This is essentially the route where Annette took, the door leading through this little hallway here, essentially. She came out right through that other end of the door, and this is where she got her. So, and I also want to point out October 1st is actually the date when the city is destroyed. Or October 2nd, I believe is a proper date. October 1st night was essentially the last night when Jill was in Raccoon City and she was infected, saved by Carlos from the infection from the Nemesis parasite. But more importantly, October 2nd was the day Raccoon City was missile striked. So, nice little piece of info from the lore. And that will bring us to this next cutscene.
Enough with this cat and mouse game.
The game is over.
You lost.
Tell me, is your husband still alive? Or did you kill him so you could take credit for G?
Interesting theory.
You don't cooperate.
I'll get a sample from the nest.
Over my dead body.
Where's Leon?
I also like to add how I like how the game progressively shows the characters more worn and fucked
Ada?
up a little bit as the game goes on. I mean, in the first encounter with G, he got roughed up and he's all dirty and kind of his uniform is disheveled. Now here he is in the third layer, and part of his uniform is missing, and he's also suffered a
Ada?
gunshot wound.
Where are you?
So they got a very kind of Survivor-esque look going on, pretty evidently. That was very weird. Did you guys notice that? The shotgun essentially is basically... It was a bit different. That was kind of curious, wasn't it? So anyway, once we get up here to this point, this is essentially where Ada went in, but the ladder is now essentially fractured, so we can't follow her that way. But what we can do, I like how he just hangs the coat over the edge right there and leaves it there. But now the power has been restored, we're going to be able to use the elevator now. So we'll take the elevator up, and then head further along the path to this area, going down to like a kind of sluice gate, leading into the sewer system. We're going to go ahead and leave those, some of our handgun. We'll leave our 60 bullets here in tow. We're going to put away our combat knife. We're going to take one of the... no, I think that's good. We're good right there. So, head down the steps, though, and proceed into the sewers in full. And Watergate essentially is basically going to be down below us, so we're going to drop down there. Before we go further, though, on the trash over here, find some handgun bullets and take them.
That's a pleasant smell.
Now, before we go further to the right, take a look over here on the left, and you'll find that there is a little stationary area, T-bar handle slot. This is essentially going to be an important key item we're going to need to navigate some of the sewers, as well as get back to a very subtle, discreet path leading back to the police station. But we're going to need to find that tool, the T-bar handle. So here, going up here, we're going to have a divergent of a path here. 2 on the left. There's a zombie above us, as you can see. 2 on the right, 1 path on the right, 1 path on the left. Now, the path on the left will essentially lead us to a dead end, but at the far end of this dead end, we will find some shotgun shells. So go ahead on down there and grab them. And then once you have them, continue back down the sewer tunnel, and then divert and take the path to the right. But at the far back of this passage over here, you will have another item to grab, I believe. No? Doesn't look like it. Okay, I was misinformed. My apologies. But head further up here, and this is where you will find the dead remains of the UBCS members, Alpha Team, essentially, and all the various strike marks of the pipe that a very bizarre detail, but he didn't have a pipe until we encountered him in the bowels of the police station. So somehow or another he must have used another pipe as a weapon, because these are all strike marks from a pipe. There, the floor, there. Over here on this dead UBCS member's body, you'll find a digital recorder cassette. Grab that. This one back here will essentially reanimate as a zombie. These other ones, not so much. Heading further up, you'll see a zombie here, oblivious to our presence. Broken knife, that's fine. Don't need it. Just one more shot and that should be it.
Bitch.
Or not. I'm gonna unequip the grenades. I don't want to use them quite just yet. Get our magnum out. I want to have a little fun with this. I'm not saying shit, but that is the most awkward face-down, ass-up zombie I've ever seen. Matter of fact, you know what? I just, yeah, I can't not, yeah, I'm glad I pushed him over because that was weird looking. Oh my god, that would have been bad. Grab the knife on the barrel back here, so essentially that will basically be good for us in that capacity. We obviously have a plug here on the wall. This is actually an important piece of puzzle that we essentially could have grabbed, but I'm going to come back for that in a little while. I don't really need it right now, and I definitely don't want to rule out my access point using that bridge. Once we take that plug particularly, we'll lose access to the bridge. So we'll have to be mindful of that. But head down into the water and then slide down the lower water into the lower waterway.
Shit.
We can hear an adult G embryo at the far end, whimpering and whining. We're going to go ahead and take the blue herb as a precautionary measure in the event we get poisoned. and continue down into the tunnel. Obviously there we have the G embryo ducking and getting further down into the tunnel area. Here we have gunpowder B, which we're going to take. Ooh! I didn't expect it to hurt that much. Okay, Alright, we're gonna need to use that healing item after all. So once we dispatched the G adult, we're going to continue on, head through this door here at the far end of this passage, and make your way through, and then up, and we will find the cable car, which will take us to the lab.
Cable car.
Not necessarily the same as the turntable elevator that we took, but a nice compromise of both the Skytram and the turntable that we encountered with the OG version of the game. So I kind of see what they did there. They did not necessarily one over the other. They combined the best of both. Pretty genius. Pretty genius. Satisfies both ends of the spectrum and not just, you know, takes one away from the other. Inside this area here, we're going to have a few things. We're going to have a file here on the shelf, which is basically a copy of emails to Umbrella HQ, Director Owens. There are alarms going off all over Nest. I don't know what's going on, but I can hear gunfire, and I can't reach my section chief. We're trapped. Please send help ASAP. Director Owens, the situation here is dire. Nest has been contaminated with the virus. It's unbelievable. The failsafe system didn't activate at all. Is this the work of outsiders? I can't imagine who else it could be, but why? Meyer and Kim are dead. I can't stop coughing. Why won't you answer me? Director Owens, you. It was you all along. So he pretty much already figured it out well and truly on his deathbed. Here we have another lock, but unfortunately I do not remember. I'm gonna take a wild guess here. Oh, I guessed it right. How about that? SZF. That's awesome. I guessed it right. I didn't think I was gonna guess it. SZF is essentially the key passcode for that particular door, and basically going to help you get out in the long term in that capacity. So obviously down here we'll have a few things here that we need to grab, but we can't access that area yet. We need to get to this area. That's essentially where the items are, making all the rest of this area red, and of course this area as well. So once we get through that section, we're going to head over here to the elevator, which is broken, and we're going to drop down to the lower level.
I don't like the sound of that. Come on. Ada.
And that would be Birkin in the waste disposal room, and Ada's unconscious. So to get to her, we need to get these doors open. Grab the sewer map off the wall to your left after the cutscene, and then head over here and get the handgun ammo as well. Over here, grab the sewer company pamphlet. Greetings from the CEO. Thank you for your interest in Knight's Construction Company. Over the past 20 years, we have the honor to work in the sewer system of some of our country's greatest cities, while never losing sight of our own core principles of playfulness and superior industrial design. At KCC, we believe that just because our work is subterranean doesn't mean our designs have to be subpar. More refined than a queen, more polished than a knight, and as pleasant as a pawn. Our work is sure to bring great victory to everyone involved. May we all meet on the field someday. Knights Construction Company CEO, World Chess Alliance honorary member, Raccoon Chess Club honor advisor, and Fisher Chess Lovers Guide honorary director R.B. Fisher. Once you get here, go ahead and use the tape on the VCR. How very 90s. Operation Nest Wrecker 2.
Oh, please, stop. Stop. No.
Over here, you freak!
Don't hurt him.
The virus. I'll bet those rats spread it.
Over here, you're going to find the plugs essentially to opening up the door to get to Ada. So essentially, we need to get all 6 plugs and coordinate them accordingly to basically getting them where they need to go. So obviously, you're going to have some with the paper aligning where they're supposed to be, and then you're going to have ones where they're not going to be where they should be. So obviously, we need to get a couple of them. We have the pawn here in our possession, which is pretty evident. So we're going to go ahead and put that inside the pawn indicator. That's essentially where the pawn will go. This will change accordingly based on your first and second playthroughs. So there's no real consistent measure of that in that capacity. Here we have the knight. So we'll put that right back where it was. And we need to get the other 4 that are somewhere down here. Over here is basically also going to be the bishop plug. And I'm going to wager a guess that the bishop is probably going to be somewhere on this wall. So we're going to go ahead and take our chance with putting it there. We still got to find the other 3, though. 2 there, 1 there. So we're going to need to find it. Here you'll find also that I'm pretty sure the rook and the knight are on the same wall. The bishop and the queen aren't next to each other, and the queen and the rook are opposite of each other. So the knight and the rook are on the same wall. So the bishop may actually not go there at all. So we'll use that as a telltale thing. I lost the key that tells you how to unlock the door to the U area. You're in the last mad dash of a transfer. I know you have to stick 1 plug into each terminal, but if anyone remembers which plug goes where, please be a pal and share by posting the info on this board. And that's pretty much the closest thing to a clue we're going to get. So, but that's okay. Go ahead and put away the magnum bullets, and then take out the gunpowder and make yourself some shotgun bullets. And let's take out... Let's take out... 24. That'll give us a fully reloaded handgun and a perfect starter. So we'll go ahead and go with that. We are going to grab 1 healing item, though. Particularly the red and green herb. So we'll take that. And maybe 1 first aid spray just to be safe. Now once we head out here, we're going to head over here to the right. And this essentially is going to lower the elevate. This is going to basically the path where Ada walked and was nearly killed by this broad. So we're going to pull that lever, and that will bring the bridge down so we can cross. Now head to your left as soon as you cross, and over here to the turntable. On the floor over here, you're going to find a red herb. Take that. You're also going to find the T-bar, which is essential to opening up some of these tunnel access points. So we're going to take that as well. The delivery received. The item below has been delivered to the location specified in the order. Heat resistant safe. The combination is written on the side of the safe in chalk. So, we got another safe and another weapon upgrade coming our way. So, let's go get it. That door is essentially where we're going to be going next. Before we do that, let's get over here and get the safe. Ignore the blue herb if you want, or you could just ninch in and grab it real subtly. If you do it very carefully, you can actually get it without waking up the zombie. Then go ahead and mix it with the red herb that you picked up earlier. So here we have 2 left, 12 right, 8 left. And then that will get us the stock for our shotgun. And that will give us a fully stock, fully grade shotgun that basically will give us, let's see what that does for us. Makes it easier to rapidly shoot with the stock, and the long barrel extends the clip capacity to 8 rounds and boosts overall destructive power. So we got a fully upgraded shotgun now, which will be a huge benefit to us in the long term. Now heading out into this doorway here, we're going to have a path leading down. Now this is essentially going to have 2 zombies here, maybe 3. I can't remember exactly. But be careful coming down here. And to your left will be 1 zombie that's dispatched. But on your right, you'll have these 2 zombies essentially over here. Now, obviously, they will come up here. If they do, that's fine. Don't freak out. You're good. We are going to do, though, is drop them. Look at that! Boom, boom! Love it. Once you dispatch the zombies, we can actually open up the door over here. This is basically what we want as it stands right now. But we're going to definitely head down here and then head further along the waterway to the left, because back here we will find a hand grenade. That is going to be an important piece of equipment for the future of where we're going to be going next. So, where is that going to basically be? Well, we're going to head to the workroom. But before we even get that far, we're going to head further down into this area over here. Now, essentially, we do not want to go down here right away, which we're not going to. We're simply going here to get a key. So use the T-bar. Matter of fact, examine this so you know what it looks like. There you go. So you got the T-bar. So we're going to use the T-bar to open up this sealed shutter area. I think we may push through this. I don't know. Let me see what time we got. We got 1 hour and 22 minutes. I think we'll just push through this, because I think we'll actually be able to finish this pretty even keel. So once we get into here, we're going to head over here and grab the sewer key. This is essentially what we want. So before we even go any further down, we're going to go further back up and use the T-bar one more time. This door essentially was sealed from the other side, but we can't really use it from this side. So unfortunately, we can't use it here. We have to use it from the other side over there. So we're going to have to make our way back around and go the other way. This will basically be our way back when we're going down here to take care of business. So that's what we'll do. So head back the way you came. Don't go down there. You don't need to go down there quite just yet. We got some other things we need to do, and we're definitely going to want to do them at our leisure. So, head back to where we dispatched the zombies from earlier. And we're going to head for the workrooms lift. To get there, we're going to have to kick up with another one of those G adult enemies, essentially. In fact, bear with me a moment here. I'm getting my bearings here. Control room, that's essentially where that's going to take us. Okay. I'm just tracking my approach here, so bear with me. Getting my memory back in. All right, lower waterway, that's pretty much a dead end, so we gotta definitely do the workroom. Have your shotgun ready and go crazy.
What the?
So once we've dispatched that G adult out of our way, it took all of our ammo and a little bit of our handgun, but it's kind of relevant because we're going to need to come back down this path here, and we don't want to have to deal with him later on. So head over here in this area over here, and you're going to use the T-bar handle again. Oh, and I think it's relevant to know that after you've encountered the Tyrant with Ada, you're not going to deal with the Tyrant for a little while. So you don't have to worry about him be stomping around the police station when we return there. Because essentially he's not going to be there to be much of a pain in the ass for you anymore. At least for now. So take the elevator once you get through that T-bar area, up the elevator, and then basically make your way in. Grab the film off the shelf here. And then drop the zombie here. Once you have dropped him, go ahead and use the side pack to get another weapon item engraved in your favor. And then over here on the shelf, grab the handgun ammo as well. Reload your gun, and then basically just open the door so Big Boy can come through. Hey. That's juicy. Headshots come so much more easier when you have the that weapon in particular to basically sort of just pop shots easier and easier. So once we pretty much have made our way here, another zombie will essentially drop down and be a problem. We are going to basically use the sewer key to gain access to the treatment facility's room back here. And basically, this will be a kind of work storage room sort of thing. I'm not entirely sure. But we're going to grab the gunpowder B and the big gunpowder A, mix them, and you'll get 6 shells. That would be a nice supplant for anything we have used up to that point. Now I'm just taking in stock. Now the upper waterway, it doesn't really matter. We can pretty much pursue down this way to get to the lower waterway, which basically is just going to lead us right down here. That's not really of anything of noteworthiness that we need to really worry about. But we do need to basically take this path because we're going to open up the waterway, this T-bar handle room essentially there. But we're going to basically leave that plug in right now. Head to the workers' break room next. That will be our next place of going. Get your Magnum out and just put this asshole down so we don't have to deal with him again. And use the sewer key for the one final time, hopefully, which it is. Go ahead and discard it, because we're going to go back to the police station. In here, we'll find some gunpowder. And then over here on the thing, you remember that locker that we basically solved by chance before we encountered Ada in the passed out in the air? This is essentially the puzzle's answer. SCF. So that is essentially what that is. right there. Inside the locker, you will find some more handgun ammo. Go ahead, take it. Reload. Inside this locker, nothing. Depending if you're playing on easy, though, you'll get something else. But we're going to go ahead and push this locker out of the way. And this is going to take us up to the police station one last time. Got blood on my hands from the zombie. Now in here, to the left here on the bucket of chemicals or whatever, grab the 5 Magnum shells and then head further up and then unlock the door. And this is going to take you to the sub-basement area that we originally had left, making our way to the basement of the police station. So that's good because we have a few things here we need to grab. Number 1 is going to be that weapon part right down there. So we're going to head up real quick to the storage room. But we need to board the elevator. So board the elevator and head up to the storage room. And then use the T-bar handle to basically open up the way back to where we had left Marvin previously. And now you'll notice that we have a film. We need to get this film developed because this is going to be important for a particular 2 items. One is going to be munitions, and another one is going to be a weapon part. We essentially need this film developed. So we're actually going back there for this very reason and this reason alone. We're going to go ahead and put away our Magnum shells. We're going to take out our handgun gunpowder, mix that with the existing gunpowder here. So we got some ammo. Go ahead and put the remainder inside your stash. And put away one of those herbs, because we're not going to need that either. And then basically just go from there. Keeping my guns in an orderly fashion to the best of my ability. I'm very OCD. You'll have to forgive me. I'm very OCD about stuff like that. So we're going to go ahead and definitely do that. And then basically that is going to be the gist of it. We're going to take the STARS badge with us for later. But our main concern is basically use this printout to get ourselves acclimated with our needs with the next section. So we're going to go ahead up into the police station now. The tyrant will essentially be gone, so we won't really need to worry about it. So let's make our way out. So once we get the hiding rooms basically established, there's going to be one that is going to be very reminiscent of Wesker's desk, and then another one that is actually going to be in the conference room by a radio. These are 2 particular locations we're going on a visit because they actually have important items in them. So you have to go upstairs right now, first floor. It will be on the eastern. Well, basically, you want to go to the conference room right here, and by the desk there will be a radio, which is essentially where we'll find that. This first, that is the second one. The first one, though, essentially is basically going to be right at Wesker's desk. You will not be able to access these drawers unless you have them shown to you in the print. So to get access to them, you have to print the film. There is no other way around it. A bit of out of your way work to be done, but a necessity if you want the upgrade of relevancy for the weapon in question. In this case, we will have a film as well as the weapon. Obviously, the film will be a staple to Resident Evil 2's OG version, with Rebecca Chambers having a photograph in Wesker's desk. I don't know why. That's very, very suspect, and it just really makes Wesker look like an absolute creepo. But yeah, that's pretty much that. So we're gonna head into here, get that developed real quick. And there you have it. I really hope Wesker doesn't like him that young, because, yeah, that's just fucking disturbing. Anyway, we're gonna definitely keep it out. I mean, he's already a monster in itself, but that just raises the bar on his monstrosity level, you know what I mean? So once we get through here, we're going to head directly into the East Hall of the police station. The press hall is essentially our destination. This zombie is completely fucking oblivious to our presence here, so he's not going to be too much of a pain in the ass. Over here is where you will find the other drawer. Inside, you will find a fuel tank and 400. This is essentially for a weapon that you have not gotten yet, so this will be relevant later on. This is essentially going to be for the flamethrower that Leon will be using. It's kind of ironic that Leon gets the flamethrower, but we got it briefly with him in Resident Evil 2, the OG version, but we didn't really get to really use it too much, and it didn't really see a lot of action. So we got the privilege of, having that weapon available to us in that capacity. So, but we're going to put that away, and we're going to go ahead and open up this container here. This will basically be a wooden box. Inside, we'll find a laser sight, which we will put on the Magnum. This will give us a lot more firepower. We hear zombies moving around. We're not going to worry about him. The hell with him. He's not a concern. We're not coming back here again, and he's going to be a distant fucking memory. So just get on the elevator and get out of here. Now we're going to head downstairs to the weapon cache that essentially was sealed up with the STARS badge insignia, and that's essentially why we want the STARS badge. You use it to get the laser hawk, but you can also use that a second time later on to get access to this rather peculiar placement of a weapon locker. I'm not entirely sure why they would put it here to begin with. Just doesn't really seem to really make much in the way of sense. So grab the weapons parts in there, take the STARS badge, and you can actually discard the STARS badge. And then basically you're going to... Let me see what it does. Okay, so we got... Now we'll go ahead and combine this with the Magnum, and we'll get a long barrel Magnum, which will be incredibly stupid strong. So we got a fully upgraded weapon in every sense of the word. That is just fucking... It's just nasty looking. I never did like putting long barrel on that gun, though, because I always thought it looked ridiculous. But, now I can't help but be happy when I do put it on, because it just delivers such a fucking devastating shot every time. So, upon entering this area, we're going to head over here, and we're going to grab the Bishop plug, or the Rook plug, excuse me. Upon taking the Rook plug, though, this turntable, this elevator-like path will essentially lift. So we won't be able to take that path back. That essentially has closed off one of our access points to getting out of here. So we're going to double back and take down the steps to the initial area that we were initially navigating. Have your Magnum ready. in the event that we have surprises. We don't want to kill them, we just want to get them out of our way. And that basically will bring us to this point where we are going to basically use the T-bar handle to gain access to this area. Now, once we've done that, we can pretty much make our way down and out of here. Now, seeing as how we're going to be in a position where we have to go down here and navigate this anyway, that's exactly what we're going to do. So we're going to basically prepare ourselves for this, going down here into this place of this area. So head down the ladder once you get down to this point, and then basically make your way through and around to the best of your ability.
What the hell was that?
Grab the green herb. You don't have to worry about that little fucker coming after you because essentially he will disappear. But you can pretty much see that this place has become like a huge, ugly, nasty, growth-infested nesting ground. Essentially, these are basically G embryos that essentially did not mature fully, but they're still replicating and just making more and more of themselves.
Oh my god, this is getting worse.
I mean, what kills me is that Annette doesn't. It's like, what do you think you're going to accomplish by stopping all this? This isn't going to. You're one person. You're not going to stop all this. I mean, I get her priorities, but your daughter needs her mother. Over here on the shelf somewhere of this passage, somewhere here you'll find some gunpowder or some magnum bullets of some capacity. I think it's going to be over here is where we'll find it. Here it is. Alright, so we got some magnum bullets. Very nice. And then that will basically be all that we will find here. We will be beset by another one of those freak shows here. After we've navigated all that nonsense. Dude, this is just gross looking. Jesus Christ. Eesh. And it's all pulsing and shit too. I mean, look at that. Ugh. Yikes. So we're gonna head on through. And over here. you'll probably find a herb or something that we can use. Over here, you'll find another statue of Mr. Raccoon, so you can grab that. If you haven't gotten them all yet, this is one of the good indicators of where one of them you will find pretty evenly. In here, this is going to be a bit of a labyrinthian mess. To get to the weapon, or there's going to be a couple things in here. Number one, we're going to have a weapon in here. We're going to have a few plugs in here we're going to need to grab, and a few herbs in question. So we're definitely going to grab all of the above in this next vicinity. So grab the red herb here, mix it with the green herb, and then basically we'll make our way down. Now here we will have, obviously this will only be open to the king plug, so we need to basically get the king plug. So basically going into here, this path will be open. Over here will be the queen plug. That will shut that door. Now that is the intricate part of this, is basically when you pull the plug out of one door, it will shut. Basically you need to basically pick and choose which door is open, which one's shut, blah, blah, blah. Over here, grab the blue herb, mix it. You get a green, blue, and red herb mix. Here you will have another queen plug. Go ahead and use it. That'll open up the door. Over here you'll have a king plug. That zombie up there will essentially fall down. Grab the king plug here. Obviously the door will shut. We can't go back that way, so we're going to go ahead and take our way of getting the king plug and heading back the way we came. Dropping down here, zombie will basically get down here. Leave the queen plug, because we're going to need to get that, but right over here, use the king plug on this one. And then the other side, we will find the flamethrower. Grab it. And that will give us a whopping measure of power right there in the cells. Where is he? I don't see him. Oh, there he is. Let me see if I can get him to... Let me see if I can bait him into coming into this room and I can trap him. Oh, come on, boy. Sorry, buddy. Can't have you doing that. So this is the king plug. So now basically we need to juggle this. So we're gonna have to put the queen plug here. Oh, you fucking motherfucker. I forgot he was here. You son of a bitch.
Shit.
Just for that, asshole. I'm gonna enjoy leaving you down here. Go ahead and put the king plug here. And then you're gonna make your way back. Grab the queen plug. That'll shut that door. And then make your way out. And that will essentially shut the zombie in, and with no means of escape. So we have the king plug, the queen plug, and that essentially is going to be basically that. So we have all the plugs we need to get out of here, which is exactly what we're going to do now. Have your shotgun ready. We don't want to get too dependent on you. Well, you actually have your handgun ready because we're going to definitely need to use that to weaken this freak show that will be at the far end of here. We obviously got all the plugs we need, and we got the flamethrower, so we have everything we need to get out of here. Once we dodged his grab from the G adult, we're gonna beeline it back here, get on the elevator, get on the ladder, and climb. And that will basically put us on the path to getting everything we need, and then some. The G adult will essentially be out of our hair. The zombie that was essentially here, that was dead on the left, will be on its feet, I believe, right now. Yep. So once we've put him down, we didn't kill him, we just put him down enough to get past him. We're going to head up and through to the next area. So head back through this cable car area, and then basically through to the U area control room. So if we remember correctly, let's read that note one more time. Pretty sure the Rook and the Knight are on the same wall, and the Bishop and the Queen aren't next to each other, and the Queen and the Rook are opposite of each other too. So, the Rook and the Knight are on the same wall. So let's say the Rook is here. The Bishop and the Queen aren't next to each other, and the Queen and the Rook are opposite of each other. The Knight is here. The Knight and the Rook are on the same wall. The Bishop and the Queen aren't next to each other. And the Queen and the Bishop, Queen and the Rook are opposite of each other. So the Queen isn't going to be on this wall. And the Pawn is not going to be opposite of it, so the Rook will go here. The Queen will go here. The Bishop and the Queen aren't next to each other, so maybe the Bishop will go here. And I think the King will go there. Cross your fingers. Love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Almost there, Ada.
That was awesome. Go ahead and drop off one of your herbs and take your handgun ammo. God, that just gets me so pumped. I solved that puzzle so good. I was like, yes! Awesome! And I think I'll take one more healing item with me. So once we get into this point, we're going to head into this area here. In order to gain access to the room, we need to restore power, I believe, is how it works. Grab the blue herb here. That door will be locked from the other side.
Damn it. Need the power on first.
Oh, grab the green herb as well. And then inside here, to your right will be a red herb. Grab that. Mix it. And then we're going to tinker with this puzzle. Same thing that we had pretty much in the basement of the police station. We want the red dials to be the access point for the power. So we're going to do jingle, jingle. Just mingle. There you go. Power restored. We can now gain access to the room. But upon when we go to leave, we will be attacked by Birkin yet again. He will break the door, making it impossible to leave. He will also ignite sparks that will essentially start the fire. Oh, how do you keep missing, bro? Come on. If you get gashed, don't worry about it. Just get yourself up and get healing. And then keep moving. You don't want to fight them there. Essentially, you need to get into a open area. So run outside to this sinkhole / construction area that they built. You're gonna use this. You're gonna use this. But this particular piece of machinery here is essentially what you're gonna use as a battering ram. That's what you're gonna need to basically put enough damage on him to essentially weaken him. Go and hit him, and that'll basically put him on his ass. It won't finish him, but it'll be enough.
Let's do this.
Have your flash grenade ready in case he gets up in time, because you don't want to have to get up and move out of the way. That'll essentially make it pointless. And that will basically stun him and take him out. And slip. Bet you that hurt. So once we've dispatched that piece of business, we're basically going to be free and truly out of our... We're going to be free range to do whatever we need to do next. So once we've dispatched him, use the broken collapsed scaffolding as a makeshift bridge to get to the other path to here. This essentially will lead you to the locked door leading back to the U area that was inaccessible before. And then pull the lever, and we will save Ada.
Ada! Ada, where are you?
Over here!
Ada! getting worried there for a sec.
I can't get it out.
I don't know if I should,
Just do it. I can't walk like this.
Okay. It's gonna hurt. Hold on.
I can do it myself.
Just relax, okay? So, what do we do now?
Get yourself out of here. While you still can.
I'm not just gonna leave you. Not like this.
You don't understand. The situation's worse than I thought.
You're not getting rid of me that easy. You protected me. Now it's my turn.
Didn't realize we were keeping score.
Grab my shoulder.
Don't push it, rookie.
Okay, just trying to help. Watch your step.
Sounds like somebody I know.
You want to help? We have to get to the nest.
Nest?
Umbrella's lab, right beneath us. Net let it slip. That's where the virus samples are. You up for this?
Think I could fit it in my schedule.
Come on. We got work to do.
Yes, ma'am.
The cable car will take us down to Nest. My wristband's our ticket to ride.
Nice. Where'd you get that?
Borrowed it. Anyway, we're almost there.
Definitely want to have this flamethrower handy for when you go down to there, because you'll be dealing with IV zombies, which only will be killable by fire.
This damn leg.
Let me carry you.
No. That'd only make me feel worse. How's the shoulder?
Worse than it looks.
What a pair. Both got one foot in the grave.
Yeah, but he can fight. You can't. I hardly call that as a 1 foot in the grave kind of situation.
That should take us where we need to go.
So at this point, you want to make absolutely sure you got everything done. Every upgrade, every weapon piece, every possible resource you could have acquired up to this point. If you want to go back to the police station, now would be the time if you haven't already done so.
This may be a one-way ride, so be prepared, Leon.
And pretty much the game is pretty much already telling you right from the jump, if you have anything you need to take care of, anything at all, now's the time, because you will not be able to come back once you go to the lab. So let's go ahead and kick this pony into action.
This tram is bound for Nest. Do not exit until the final destination.
You know what I was thinking? I can't wait for the FBI to raid Umbrella headquarters and take those bastards to justice.
I agree, but to be clear, you're not working in official capacity. This is a federal case. Once we get the G-Virus, I'm back on my own. Hey, Leon, trust me?
Trust me?
Honestly, if I didn't, you'd probably be dead.
Right.
I thought I might need your help, and I was right. If you can secure the G-Virus, I can make sure what happened in Raccoon City never happens again.
Ada, you said it yourself. It's a federal case. I don't have the authority.
Look at me. I'm a liability now. If I'm gonna finish this case, you're the last hope I've got.
I'm not just gonna leave you here. What if you're attacked? What if you need help?
I'll be fine. Don't worry about me. I gotta see this through. And I want to see you again. I got plenty to live for, trust me.
Now, arriving at Nest.
Go. Please, we don't have much time. You're gonna need this.
So she will give you the wristband, and that will essentially get you access to various points in the lab, while she stays behind on the tram.
Counting on you.
I know.
Yeah. So after you disembark the Skytram, cable car, whatever you want to call it, you got to make your way down to the lab. Oh, bless me. 1,000 apologies.
For your safety, stand clear until the doors are fully open. For your safety, stand clear until the doors are fully open. For your safety, stand clear until the doors are fully open. Welcome to Nest. Enjoy your visit.
Now, upon entering the lab, you're going to have the security room to the left.
I know where the G virus is.
Grab these shotgun shells from the table. Check the computer if you can. If not, don't worry about it. It's just a relevancy of circumstance. So over here, there's a file, though. A map with the entire north area of the lab's main entrance. I could really go for some pizza right now. Maybe I'll order some tomorrow. I resisted getting pizza 2 days ago, and I resisted getting Burger King tonight, so I'm actually quite proud of myself because I'm trying to lose weight. But in this area over here with the reception, you'll find the nap room log. Toby Jackson, 344, 731. Sarah Takashi, 451, 708. Walt Page, 1203, 1336. Anthony White, 1205, 1248. Serial Archer, 1801, 2021. Desmond Locke, 1804, 1958. And then Wayne Lee, 2016. He never left. In here, we're going to drop off a few things. Drop off the herb and the knife. Matter of fact, yeah. Now, we obviously have to upgrade our security clearance to gain general staff access. So to do that, we're going to have to go into the cafeteria, kitchen, and nap room, essentially in that order. I like the way when the door closes, that eerie music kind of picks in like a ominous tone. Like you listen for that door to shut, and then it suddenly kicks in with the music like, oh, fuck. The general staff area ahead will be locked, so we need to go through the cafeteria. And here you will find a number of zombies. 2 down. Female zombie over here will essentially get up at some point. There will be flamethrower fuel, though, over here by the snack bin, so we're going to drop this zombie here. And that zombie will be down. This zombie essentially will be eating her own dinner.
Our menu is designed for your nutritional needs. using our latest biological research. Please enjoy our tasty selection of healthy foods.
I bet you did. You hear that, and you got the zombie literally munching on this poor bastard.
Oh, what the hell?
Motherfucker. There is going to be some big gunpowder in the kitchen, but in order to get there, we have to get around this other area. I believe there's going to be something over there we can grab as well, but I'm not sure. I'll be better sure when I actually get myself to the kitchen. So once you get around these tipped over tables and chairs, head into the ventilation system. This will essentially take you up and around the dining area of the cafeteria to the kitchen, and then drop into the kitchen through this broken ventilation duct here. Grab the big bottle of gunpowder and scrambled eggs. Is that still on? Burger, pancakes, scrambled eggs. Man, they had quite the dietary of, pick your poison kind of day, huh? Grab the knife from the table.
What the?
Drop the zombie. And then head into the nap room and grab the shotgun shells. Inside the cabinet here, you'll find a regulator for the part for the flamethrower. This essentially will let you use less flamethrower fuel by controlling the fuel flow. So it'll basically make the fuel last longer in the flamethrower. You won't burn through it half as fast. Now here we have a power source which we need to basically access, but we don't have the tool to do it yet. Basically to restore power to this area. Get the chip for the general staff access area. And then we're going to go ahead and combine that with the ID wristband for the general staff. Now, before we move on, I want to take another look in here just to make sure there's nothing here I'm forgetting. Over here on the body, next to the zombie, we'll find a hand grenade, so that's good. Okay, we got everything we needed here. Is that fucking guy still alive? He is! Take the hint, buddy! Man, guy just doesn't know when to say die, does he? So once we've got everything we needed from this particular vicinity, we're going to head back to the main reception area. We're going to drop off a few more things.
Your presence is urgently requested by Chief Cartwright in the East area.
I'm not Dr. Lee, but clearly somebody was looking for me. Go ahead and drop off the knife, and go ahead and drop off the big batch of gunpowder, as well as the fuel for right now. And let's make our way into the main shaft of the main lab. Over here, on the body of the UVSS officer, we'll essentially have Special Forces recording. Alpha to Ghost. Target moving to the west area must be going to retrieve the G-Virus sample and antiviral agent. This is Ghost. Understood. Rendezvous at point W3. Roger. This is Alpha. Arrived at destination. Understood. Stand by on my target. This is Alpha. I've got eyes on the target. He's going to open the safe. Roger. Awaiting the signal. Got eyes on the G-Virus. We're going in. Dr. Birkin, you'll come along with us quietly. This is essentially just a reenactment of the video that you will find later on of them doing it. Once you have access to this area, you'll be able to use the consoles to extend the bridges. And you're going to make your way across. Now, the east area is essentially where we are going to be going. The west area we do not have access yet to, as that requires senior staff
for bridge access.
So we don't have access to that. We have access to this. So in order to get senior staff access, we need to go find another chip, much like the general staff chip. In here, we'll find another save area with a green herb on the left, as well as some more gunpowder as well. We'll go ahead and put the green powder away and the gunpowder away and the green herb. The door on the far right here will essentially be locked to us. So we'll have to go the long way around to get this door unlocked. So and there will be our senior research staff right there.
Jesus. What happened here?
So pretty much over here on the table. Not this one. I think it's over there more. I'm not sure. Yeah, to gain access to this, we need to have senior staff clearance, so we can't access that yet. Now here, this room will be overtaken by Ivy, so we're essentially going to head into here and start using our flamethrower. So right away, right for the jump, you don't necessarily have to do these guys right away, but I like to do them right away, so. By burning the IVs, they essentially will not be able to resurrect and come back. So it's kind of relevant that you do get rid of them as fast as possible. Grab the flash grenade as soon as you come into the room, and immediately notice that here on the tableau will basically have a series of puzzle solutions. Now basically the input code is essentially these symbolisms. We need to figure out what these symbolisms are. One is for the drug testing lab, and the other one is for a ladder access. So that's essentially where we're going to be going next, is essentially to get those doors open. First thing we can do is actually the ladder access, so we're going to head into there and do that first and foremost. We will, of course, have potentials of threats in our way, namely the IVs here. But by burning him, we'll get him out of our way.
What?
Head over here, grab the blue herb and mix it with the red herb. And then, or more importantly, over here on this latch is where you will find the access code for the thing. So you got to think kind of like with Tetris symbols. So I basically do it like fork equals sign, Tetris fork. Basically, that's the best way I remember it. And then basically I just correlate that to, what does it look like? What does this look like? What does that look like? And that's basically how I do it. Go ahead and use this device to basically relieve the solution.
Dispensing solution.
That will essentially weaken it somewhat. Or maybe not enough. So we can't take that with us. We gotta actually make some space in our inventory to take that with us. Shit. So we're gonna go ahead and do. And that will open up that path. We'll come back. We'll actually have to make a trip. We'll come back for the other. For that, well, in a minute. Let's go ahead and make a trip back to the storage room and drop that off. Not a very long distance, but good enough to where we won't really need to go very far. So, in here, storage room over here. Go ahead and drop off one of the green and red herbs. Drop off the. Let's go ahead and use our big gunpowder and get some solid shotgun shells in our inventory. And then we'll go ahead and reload our flamethrower as well. So that'll take care of that. Because we've dispatched those IVs, we don't have to worry about them basically being here lying in wait for us to be attacked. Now we can grab the cartridge, essentially, for our benefit. And then head down the ladder of the access shaft, which we have opened up with the computer. Over here in the far back, though, you will find a map of the Research East area map, and then you will also find more gunpowder on top of the existing gunpowder, which is good. Now, in the far corner down here, this will actually be an area which we will not be able to access. Even though we have the wristbands, we essentially need to restore power to use the wristband. So, being that this lab is essentially powered down, there's not really a lot of accesses that we have available to us. Grab the shotgun shells from the shelf here. From the bench, I should say, not shelf. You cannot grab that statue quite just yet. Grab the green herb, though, and mix that with the existing red and blue herb mixture. Now, once these zombies get up, we're going to go ahead and use our grenade to basically get them out of our way, and essentially also remove them, potentially for a threat. If one of them doesn't go down, which we hope he doesn't, use the knife to basically destroy the knife and get it also out of your inventory. And now we can pick up the statue, and we have a means of actually solving the next puzzle. So here we have the trophy, but on the bottom of that trophy, we will have the key indicator of what the next password for the lab will be, essentially. So, with that being said, we're now going to head further down to the cold store. Ooh. Okay, did not expect them to show up. I thought that was only in the second scenario. That's okay. Well, it's not really okay, because actually we need to get through them. So we're gonna have to take our distance and... Oh, shit! Okay, was not expecting that. Oh, yeah. I'm dead. I didn't die, but... Oof. And that is why I'm glad I took 2 healing items with me. Because I thought for sure there was going to be like... I didn't think they were going to show up. I'm actually quite surprised by that. I didn't think they were actually going to show up. I thought they would actually show up a little later in the second scenario. Player's scenario. But doesn't look like that was the case, so... That's okay. It is okay. Now we're going to head on through here and make our way to the stairwell to the back. This zombie will essentially get up. Get up, boy. That's enough out of you. Now we're going to head up the stairs. Eyes open on that zombie. He'll drop down when we get to this point as a surprise scare tactic. Just like that. Motherfucker.
What the hell?
Dickhead. Get our shotgun ready, because we're going to have another zombie up here waiting to play possum. Easy work. So once we get through that piece of work, grab the shotgun, get some more shotgun shells in your make. Open up this cabinet here, and inside we will find more handgun bullets. Go ahead and reload your gun. And then over here, we're going to find the signal modulator. Now, this is going to be an important piece. This is essentially the item in question. Over here, you'll find a note basically entailing you to burn IVs so that they stay dead. Basically, that's the only way you can kill them. That's really all that is. Go ahead and unlock the door. And this will bring us right back to this area in question. So, let's go ahead to our inventory over here and grab a few things. Most notably, we're going to definitely need another knife, a first aid spray, some magnum ammo, another knife, and yeah, we don't have any handgun ammo. It doesn't look like it. That's okay. No big deal. Reload your magnum, and let's go. Now, we are basically essentially going to go into this room and use the item in question to basically get into the drug lab room, essentially, to make the synthesis item in question. So, head over here to the computer terminal and examine the statue again, just so you can commit it to memory, essentially, what you want in that password. So, essentially, we're going to have a Tetris symbol, small, dash, big block, small block, and a fat block. So, Tetris symbol, small dash, big block and small block, and a fat block. Bang. Now we'll open up the drug testing lab. Now you can get rid of the statue, which you no longer need. Upon entering the drug testing lab, you're going to find that there is essentially no threats in here as it stands. But you will find over here on the counter some big gunpowder for your necessity and your need. Over here by this dead biohazard suit guy, you'll find a hand grenade. And then over here, you're going to have the necessities of a herbicide synthesis, Plant 43 herbicide synthesis. Place an empty cartridge in the solution dispenser and add the required amount of Umbrella T1 and then cool immediately. Plant 43 exhibits astounding growth. If something unfortunate were to occur, it may be hard to control. In the event of an unforeseen accident, manufacture the herbicide using the instructions above in order to minimize damage. So, we're going to go ahead and use the capsule.
Manual mode engaged. Adjust amount of solution to match cartridge capacity.
So essentially we're going to fill that one there. Switch it. I remember how I did this. I think this is... I'm hoping this is the right one. I hope this is the right one. It may not be. I don't know. We'll see. Nope. Just too much. Just a little too much. There we go. Easy. Basically, that's the idea. You want to get the chemicals filled to the red line in the left tube, and that will essentially be enough what you need there. Now that we have that, we need to get to the cooling room at the lower level to basically get this thing super cooled fast enough to where we can use it. So we're going to head down the ladder here, once again heading through the maintenance ductwork to the lower levels of the lab. Since we've dispatched the lickers and the zombies in this area, we ain't going to really have much in the way of threats to contend with. Which is good for us. But head over here, and you're going to use the signal modulator to essentially use the... to get power restored. So you don't want the MERV one, so basically using it, you won't be able to use it. So how do you use this? Well, basically you're going to go ahead and examine it. And basically you're going to do it, you're going to adjust it with the R1 button and L1 buttons, and then you're just going to tune it to where you want it just right. Minor adjustments with the left and right sticks, and then that will basically be it. And now you can use it. And there you go. Power has been restored. And with it, now we can gain access to the storage area down here. So head around the corner. And inside here, you will find a combat knife. And you will find also some gunpowder. Put away my magnum bullets. We're going to need some space here. Grab the fuel for the flamethrower. And then over here, we will find some more gunpowder. Go ahead and grab the big bottle of gunpowder, which we just put away. Or we could just save it. Matter of fact, I think that's what we'll do. We'll save it. And we'll wait till we get some more gunpowder, and we can actually make some magnum bullets. But we do need some handgun bullets, so let's go ahead and combine that and get some handgun bullets. Beautiful. So, Once we had that, we're going to head down to the other end of the lab now. Man, look at that. Tore up the fucking floor. Lower temperature room essentially will basically be our destination. In here you will find a few things that we will grab, but our more priority is basically to get the power restored enough to where we can actually use the cooling room.
Dr. Lee, you have 5 new messages.
So check the email of Wayne Lee. Rick Mendoza, what's he up to? Can you believe that bastard Cartwright? Cool your jets, asshole. Well, I guess he is the boss for now anyway. Have you seen my helix anyway? I put the secret on the bottom. Let me know if you find it, which we did find it. Byron Cartwright. Busy guy, huh? So you couldn't make our little meeting. Fine, don't worry about greenhouse inspection. Instead, I'll give you something real simple to do. Put together the budget estimate for the year after next and get it done tonight. Rick Mendoza, are you alive? We're under attack. People are dead. The east area is cut off. We can't operate the bridge with the wristband we have here. Where is that bastard Cartwright hiding? Rick Mendoza, please reply. Plant 43 is going wild. The greenhouse is hell. We need to send someone in there before it's too late. Wayne, how do we stop this thing? You have to help us. Please reply. Rick Mendoza, do you remember Susie, the cheerleader? What a great gal. We were both into her. Of course, she wasn't into nerds. I still have to give you back those comics and games I borrowed, but you might have to wait a while. Pretty much they're going to be like checking out. So after we've went in there, head inside the freezer area.
Ugh. Who left the freezer open?
And then over here, basically, you're going to put the solution inside, and that will basically get it super cooled to where you get the herbicide made. Another nice repurposing of material, because if you remember, this is how we actually made the main fuse from the OG version to restore power to the lab as a whole. But they actually turned it into a sort of cryogenics lab piece of equipment. I thought it was really cool because I really liked this part. That was actually a cool part for me in the OG version.
Cooling complete.
So before we leave, though, over here on this shelf over here is where we're going to find some more gunpowder. Go ahead and take it. And that will basically conclude the entire area of the lab's B2 area. So have your flamethrower ready, because once we go back to take the lab's stairwell area back up, we will be encountered and stopped by another Ivy that miraculously has found its way out of the greenhouse and somehow made its way into this back stairwell. So make your way back through the corridor surrounding the room of the greenhouse, and then head back into the dispensary. This is where you will use the herbicide to kill Plant 43 as a whole. So go ahead and put it in, and it'll immediately kill the plant IV material in the other room.
Now.
This will essentially force the Plant 43 to drop the body of Chief Cartwright, and essentially with him his general material.
solution without authorization. Your actions have been logged, and you may be subject to...
Ah, shit!
Now, just because the solution was used will not kill it will not kill the ivy, so unfortunately you'll have to deal with the ones that have been dropped because of the ivy, because of the solution. But you're gonna head over here, and basically this is where you're gonna grab the material of the chip. You have another one somewhere? We're gonna go ahead and grab it, but the second we do,
Shit! Again?
two magnum shots will put him on his ass, enabling you to get away. Because we got what we needed, we don't need to hang around the east wing, we don't need to hang around the east wing anymore. We can get the hell out of here. The Tyrant will essentially continue to navigate the east wing with repetition. Go ahead and combine the General Staff ID wristband to basically gain access to the terminal here. And you can read essentially Byron Cartwright's inbox. William Birkin, high priority, increased security. When did Nest become a nest for spies? 3 last month and another 4 this month. And those are just the ones we caught. Step up security, Cartwright, or do you want to end up like your predecessor? Also, I'll be restricting access to the West area from today. Ignore all requests from headquarters for information on G. Those suits contribute nothing to this project anyway. Sender, no reply. Auto-generated email. Warning, unauthorized access detected. Herbicide dispersal, blah, blah, blah. Wayne Lee. So. Now that we have basically navigated through that little shit show, we're going to have a few things we're going to need to check out. So number one, before we go anything further in the next area of the West area, which is essentially our destination, we're going to go back to the main area and use this signal modulator to gain access to the nap room's cabinets, because there is actually a additional storage side pack we can carry with us in that area. We're going to go get it. Because 2 more pockets always make it a whole lot easier to complete the business at hand. So we're going to definitely go do that. She's still munching down on that ass. Now, upon entering here, obviously this one is going to require us to adjust it again for the muff signal base signal modulator. So we're going to definitely get that thing and examine it, and then basically get the muff essentially in that order. And then we're going to basically just adjust it accordingly, and that is what we get. Use it, and that will restore power, and the nap cubicles will open up. Obviously, poor good old Mr. Way basically did not survive the gunfire, that he was killed in his sleep. Inside here, we'll find Wayne Lee's notes. Dear God, blood everywhere. What the hell's happening? They are dead, all dead. It was those men in black, USS, Headquarters Special Forces, but why? It's their job to protect us. White brains in a sea of red. This can't be happening. Dear God, why? Didn't everybody say I was a genius? A genius like me can't die in a place like this. I always got results. They're screwing me. Well, maybe I'll screw them. I win! I'll win the Nobel. I'm a hero, a genius, a god. I will not die. Yeah, you died, buddy. You got blown away before you even got to finish your statement. So, but before he gets up and gets kicking, let's go ahead and get out of this area. So now, now we pretty much have navigated our way through that piece of work. We have everything we possibly could hope to get and need at present. We're going to head over here and check our inventory for one more little bit of handgun ammo, I think, maybe? I don't know. I think we will probably take... We'll drop this off. Definitely don't want to use up all my Magnum ammo, so I'm trying not to take that as much as I possibly can. I think we'll take the fuel for the flamethrower, because we'll definitely need that for the other workings. All right, I think we're ready. So we're going to basically make our way now to the west area of the lab. Now that we have general access, we can now essentially make our way to the west area, which was originally general access. I mean senior access. Senior staff clearance required. So we now have senior staff, so now we can actually gain access to the west wing.
Hopefully the G sample's up here.
Reload your flamethrower, because you're definitely going to need it. We're going to have a boss fight ahead of us. And here another dead UBCS member is with Operation Nest Wrecker videotape number 1, as well as another hand grenade, which we will need as well. Inside here, we're going to go ahead and get ourselves situated with getting power restored with the OSS signal necessary for the signal modulator. So go ahead and get that examined right. And that will restore power to this part of the lab. And then I think that will basically conclude it. Yep, we no longer need to have that. Over here on the tape VCR thing, go ahead and use the cassette tape to see the first half of the engagement. We obviously saw that Birkin killed the USS members in the sewer, but this is the events leading up to that.
Got eyes on the G-Virus. We're going in. Dr. Birkin, you'll come along with us quietly.
You think I didn't know you were coming? This is my life's work. I'm not handing over anything.
We have our orders, Dr. Birkin. I'll ask you one more time. Hold your fire! What the fuck were you thinking? Our orders were to bring him in alive.
Yeah, well, Martinez had a different agenda.
We're in, sir. But we had a snafu. Target resisted. We had to take him out. That's correct, sir. Roger that. Just the samples, then. Let's move.
Two things I take issue with that. Number one.
So those were G samples.
So I'm going to take a moment here. I'm going to pause that for a second, because there's two issues I take issue with that whole scene. Number one, Birkin. What possible chance did he think he had against 4 heavily armed squad members of Alpha Team? Well-equipped and well-trained. You're an egghead with a damn pistol, and you got 4 guns on you at one time. What possible chance did you think he was going to have to actually come out on top with that? I have no idea. Okay? That's the first thing. Okay, but secondly, more importantly, why weren't they equipped with LTL? You know, I mean, if my objective is essentially to capture the son of a bitch alive, you think that you want to have some LTL measures in place as opposed to lethal force? You know, taser, beanbag shotgun, rubber bellets, some kind of a sedative. You think they would make a measurable effort more to keep him alive as opposed to, just blowing him away. And it's only just the one guy who blew him away, and that was essentially that asshole Jay Martinez. So, and you pretty much knew he wanted to pop him. I mean, he had that agenda because I mean, he just kept looking at him like, "Bitch, told you what was gonna." See, that's what you get. He didn't give a fuck. I mean, even when Hunk was berating him, he was like, "What the fuck were you thinking?" He didn't give a fuck. So it was kind of ironic, but it was kind of avoidable at the same time. I mean, Birkin has to take some of the heat for that. I get it because realistically, what the fuck kind of chance do you think you got when you got four men armed with heavy weaponry trying to take your weapon? If I was Birkin, I think the smarter thing I would have done as a researcher, I would have probably programmed a suicide gene in the G virus samples. So even if they did take the samples, they essentially would have, I don't know, self-destructed, cellular breakdown, genomic, genetically it just commits suicide without some kind of thing that he needs to do to him. And I mean, that's usually a pretty common thing to do is, giving organisms like that a suicide gene, which essentially kills it off so it doesn't continuously replicate itself. But at the same time, it kind of would be moot if it did that because it is basically a genetic it's a genetic virus that essentially keeps mutating. So I don't know how effective that whole suicide gene theory would be. So, but once you see the tape, go ahead and get it out of your inventory. You're not going to need it. Over here, William Birkin's inbox, Jane Doyle suspending Sir research on G. The Umbrella Corporation has decided to cease all research on G, which was ongoing at the Nest Underground Laboratory. All funding for this project has been cut, and the laboratory director, William Birkin, has been removed from his post. BE. Who is BE? Who is BE? Trying to think of who's got the initials BE. Thank you for your mail, Dr. Birkin. Top Brass has expressed an interest in the evolving bioweapon you mentioned. Do not worry about our costs. Our company is the most well-funded in the whole of the United States. I don't know who BE is. No words come to mind. It's certainly not Tricell. It's certainly not the Connections. So, I don't know. Senator Richard Kessler, congratulations. I heard the good news. G is almost ready. Strange you've never thought to report to the research lab here at Umbrella HQ, but I suppose I can let that slide. Anyway, send over the data, would you? And don't worry, you've done good work on G, but we can take care of the rest. I bet you could. Jane Doyle, notice of admonishment. You are under suspicion of breaching your contract with the Umbrella Corporation. It has become clear that you have claimed ownership of the G project and have been in unauthorized contact with the U.S. military. Please respond to the investigation committee summons within 24 hours. So pretty much the writing was on the wall. I mean, at that point, what was happening. So here it looks like he burst his way out, or they breached their way in. I'm not entirely sure, but they basically did that, and they tore the fuck out of this lab. So they were clearly looking for anything and everything they could. That is pretty evident. This looks like whether he pretty much administered implantation. Over here, we'll find a blue herb. We'll go ahead and grab that. In here, we will find some more gunpowder. Pretty sure there's a lab in here. I think sure there was a map of the east area, but I can't remember where it is. And here, this will basically be the central lab area. Perhaps where they keep all the samples and servers and computers. I'm not sure, but head further in the back, and this will essentially be the G virus collective causatory. So I'm kind of curious what that is. Is that a human heart? Can't tell. It looks like a heart. That's obviously an arm. There's something deeply unsettling about a fucking big eyeball on the shoulder. Research diary. Embryo growth observations. Subject 449. After G embryo was implanted in the subject, we made a 50-centimeter incision from the chest to the abdomen to began our observations. With the help of the medical team, the subject's consciousness levels was kept between 15 lucid GCS-10. However, the subject's consciousness level deteriorated and further observation was deemed unnecessary. The subject was then disposed of. Reading rate observations. Subject 501. The G virus was administered to Subject 501, and 501 mutated into regime form that was introduced to a group of 30 test subjects. After 2 hours and 36 minutes, it was observed that all but one of the test subjects had been implanted with an embryo. All subjects were disposed of. One subject broke down during the experimentation and took their own life. T virus resistance experimentation. Subjects 628 and 639. We administered the G virus to subject 628, who had shown slight resistance to the T virus. The virus was then introduced to subject 639, with whom 628 had a close relationship. 628 showed some signs of resistance, but had been implanted with an embryo after 24 minutes. T virus resistance does nothing to stop the mental deterioration caused by the G virus. Yeah, these guys are fucked up, bro. And then in here, inside here, we will find one of the G samples.
That was easy. All right, now back to Ada.
Attention, unauthorized removal of a level 4 virus detected. Facility lockdown initiated. Self-destruct sequence will begin when lockdown is complete. Attention, unauthorized.
Go ahead and grab the red herb, grab the other gunpowder, and then get yourself some magnum ammo.
Self-destruct sequence will begin when lockdown is complete.
Then we're going to basically make take out the green herb, mix that with the existing blue and red herb there. And then basically we will take out our magnum bullets. And I think that will do it. We're ready to kick ass. So once you get through that piece of work, head back out here and attempt to leave, and you will be ambushed by Birkin.
He's mine. This has to end.
What the hell's going on?
Sorry, William. You left me no choice.
You called this thing William. Why?
It shouldn't have been like this. It's Umbrella's fault, this whole mess.
You're Umbrella too. You're telling me you weren't involved in this?
Yes. But we never meant for this to happen.
Then tell me everything. Right from the start.
get away that easily.
Good God, William. What have you done?
So you made this monster.
We made the G-Virus, but we never intended
You can
this
spin it any way you want. You're still responsible.
Yeesh.
What the hell? Oh, shit. What are you doing?
We can't let him get away!
All right. Me on this here.
Showtime.
Class A breach detected. Last attention until target is neutralized.
Oof. Oh, damn, bro. Chill. Uh-oh. Get all fuck off me, buddy. Once he goes to just move that, you want to get out of the way, and that'll basically slam it down. He'll start doing this swinging, erratic kind of attack, which will basically, you don't want to get caught in, but... Oof! Burn, boy. Burn.
Facility lockdown initiated. Target has been neutralized. Ending quarantine.
Now, before we leave here, there's going to be a number of things we're going to grab down here before we leave. If you want them, you can get them. I'm pretty much a completionist, so I like to get everything, even if I don't need it. I think we're pretty much at a point where it's like, yeah, we're going to be okay. So, but you'll find some handgun bullets, you'll find some magnum bullets, you'll find some flash grenades, essentially in that order. The elevator leading you up and out of here will be right there, so we'll take that in a bit. We got a few more things to grab here, though. Namely, these handgun bullets. And another flash grenade over here. And that will basically be that. You can also grab the knife off his dead ass that you put through his head, basically to break his attack, to get away from him. Still got one more thing in this room, so just search around along these cabinets and columns, and you'll find essentially what you need. Here we go. We have some more handgun ammo and another first aid spray, so we're good. Go ahead and heal yourself. You got a lot of healing items, so I probably think sometimes I should play this on hardcore version, but I don't think I'm that brave just yet. I'll probably do that on my own time just to get myself excited. But take the elevator once you've taken everything from the area. And up there you will find Annette, severely hurt and down.
Jesus. That looks bad.
Feels worse. Believe me.
I'd say she's got broken ribs, ruptured organs.
Tell me you'll destroy that G sample.
No, it's evidence. It's going to the FBI.
You trust that bitch?
What's that supposed to mean?
She's not FBI. She's a mercenary. She's gonna sell it. The G-Virus is gonna go to the highest bidder.
That's bullshit.
I hope you're right. But if the G-Virus gets into the wrong hands...
Now he's starting to be a real suspect because it seems too convenient that she would be so stingy about giving out information and shit, which it makes sense. So essentially, Annette will appear to be dead and basically inconsolable. So we'll go ahead and head back the way we came.
Attention, unauthorized removal. Attention, self-destruct sequence initiated. Use the central elevator to evacuate immediately. To the bottom level train platform. Attention, self-destruct sequence initiated. Use the central...
Upon returning to the main atrium, Ada will be there looking for you.
I was just thinking about you.
That makes two of us. I was getting worried.
No, we make a good team. I gotta ask you something.
Way's clear. Please, tell me you got it.
Oh, I got it.
Let me verify the G sample and we get the hell out of here.
Before we do that, I ran into Annette. She claims you're not FBI.
Oh, Leon. Why couldn't you just hand over the sample?
As I realized, as much as I wanted to trust you, I didn't.
I really hoped it wouldn't end up like this.
So that's all this was. I was just some pawn to you?
Look, I'm just doing my job.
And I'm doing mine, so drop that damn gun! I'm taking you in.
Hand over the sample, Leon. I don't want to hurt you.
And you shoot me. But I don't think you can.
There's the G sample gone.
No one gets that sample now. Forget it.
Shut up, I've got you.
It's not worth it.
Don't do this.
Take care of yourself, Leon.
No!
So pretty much after that sequence, and that who was believed to be dead essentially is still alive and essentially shoots Ada, giving us that climactic falling death sequence essentially to Leon and Ada's story, reminiscent of the OG version of Resident Evil 2.
Attention. Self-destruct sequence initiated. Use the central elevator to evacuate immediately to the bottom level train platform.
And he is all sorts of fucked up.
Attention. Self-destruct sequence initiated. Use the central elevator to evacuate immediately to the bottom level train platform. Attention. Self-destruct sequence initiated. Use the central elevator to evacuate immediately to the bottom level train platform. Attention. Self-destruct sequence initiated. Use the central elevator to evacuate immediately to the bottom 9 minutes until detonation.
Now, upon reaching the monitoring room, you will essentially see Claire acting on her own account and of her own course within the lab.
Claire!
Leon? You're down here too!
Yeah, but the whole place is coming down. Listen to me. You need to get out. Fast.
Yeah. There's a way out. We can make it. Where are you now?
Claire, are you still there?
Leon? Hey, Leon, you're breaking up.
Forget about me. Just get out of here. Damn it.
Attention. Self-destruct sequence initiated. Use the central elevator to evacuate immediately to the bottom level train platform. Attention. Self-destruct sequence initiated. Use the central elevator to
Now, you're going to need to basically buy yourself some time.
Is this a fucking joke?
You figured this big fucker would give up the chase, especially when he sees that the place is literally blowing up around him. But he doesn't really have the Nemesis's intelligence.
Gotta keep going.
Can't really see him up there anymore, but he's basically up there. He's throwing a fit. Now at this point, you really don't need the. I don't think you really need this anymore, so we're going to go ahead and stash that. And we'll go ahead and get ourselves a healing item.
Until detonation.
We're kind of swimming with firepower here, so go ahead and use the plug, the joint plug, to essentially get the elevator working, and then just basically get it up there and moving. At that point, we'll have the Tyrant regrouping and essentially looking to give us grief. God damn, bro. Chill. Oh, he killed me. Motherfucker. Ain't that a bitch? I thought I got clear. I thought I got clear in time behind the block, but apparently not. So, unfortunately, he killed me. So, it's okay. I'll take it out of the chin. A mighty roar is a warning you'll get before the super tyrant ramps up for a mighty attack. Hit him with all you've got and stop him before it's too late. No shit. So that's what happens if I don't stop him in time. I should have saved all my Magnum ammo is what I should have did. turn, motherfucker. Now we'll get our toy. A rocket launcher. The only thing that's like a tyrant's worst nightmare.
We'll call it even.
And there you can pretty much see there's Ada. Fucker. That's for fucking killing me. Oh, I love it. Spine and ribs and all that fleshiness.
You have arrived at
Fucking
the bottom
dick.
level.
Now, I'm not sure if there's what else is here to grab. I'm not. There's not really anything I'm seeing here that's worth grabbing. I don't know. It's kind of bizarre because I'm getting a red indicator on my map that says that there's something here worth grabbing.
4 minutes until detonation.
There's something in there to grab. I don't know what to grab though. But upon entering this passage here, the train will come on by and you will be able to board it as the place is coming down. And the lab will be collapsing in on itself.
Can't believe I actually miss her.
Leon?
Hey. We made it.
Just like I said we would.
And that will basically be the entirety of Leon's playthrough. It's kind of, like I said, not very different to Claire's first playthrough, with the exception of the different mechanics of goalposts, if you will, to basically getting to the lab. In Claire's scenario, whether you're playing the first run or the second run, it's really not different. Claire essentially is trying to get a cure for Sherry, who's infected with the GE parasite. So essentially, in Leon's, it's essentially getting the G virus itself. The only difference is the overall function and flow of both the first and second runs, respectively. So, in the second run with Leon, it was essentially a much more different, more protracted with Claire, essentially in that sense. But that is entirely in its own element, based on that factor as being essentially in that case. So, we're going to go ahead and skip this, and essentially we'll get the cutscene of the second run's true ending, essentially, in this case. So the next time we play, it will be Claire on her second run, essentially, for that very reasoning. Obviously, we didn't really do too good because I died. I used 3 saves, and I did it in 5 hours. Essentially, the biggest thing there is essentially the clear time. That is essentially the deciding factor of your playthrough, especially if you get an A or a B or a C or even an S, essentially. So, but all in all, not too bad. Very happy with it, and I really cannot wait to getting into the second run with Claire. Now, I'm not entirely sure when that'll be. It might be this weekend. I'll probably get started on that, but I actually am in the process of making arrangements to make we're moving to a new house. So essentially, I'll be pretty occupied with preparing for that as we basically take the bare essentials. That obviously will include my setup, my game system, my desk, my bed, etc., etc. So I'll probably need to be kind of loose-ended on the potentials of that being the case. But in any case, that's pretty much what I'll be doing in my future. But that's all I got for you guys. Hope you guys liked it. Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited to play Claire now. So I'm hoping I get around the chance to do that. It'll be good. Subscribe, comment, like, turn the notification bell on, as it really will help you keep up to date on when I next stream. Like and comment this video because it'll help me get some more recognition. And if you have any comments, questions, concerns, lore, tips, or pointers, feel free to share them, and I will do my very best to engage with it, because I like to engage with this kind of thing, especially when we're talking the lore, particularly surrounding Resident Evil. Resident Evil 9 is out. It is popular. It's becoming one of the most best Resident Evil games around. I did not get it yet. I'm going to wait patiently for an opportunity where it is affordable, because I do not have the luxury of affordability right now. Still no word on this job, so I'm going to have to go looking out for something else, because I'm tired of waiting for these guys to get back to me. So I'll be looking for that in the coming week or so. And that is pretty much all I got for you guys. So I will be calling the ball here, and that will be the end of the stream. This is pretty much going to be the completion of Leon's run. The next time I play will be second run with Claire. So I am Savage Squishy 86, and that is the end of our first run with Leon Kennedy on Resident Evil 2, the remake. And I will see you guys next time.